Hey y'all, today we're doing this. My name is Andrew. This is the OK Humvee.
You know, I really should plan out what I'm going to say in these, but I don't. Anyways, welcome back. Last episode was pretty exciting. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. It's the first time I tried to fire up the motor. It did try to run away a little bit, revved up, and then I also realized I had a pretty massive oil leak. So I haven't started it since then. I wanted to get that fixed. So today we're going to try to fix a few of the things we realized last time. So for starters, the fuel filler leaked. And that's because, which I should show you this because I have a couple people ask. When you lift the body, you have to lower the tank. Well, the tank inlet's here, so you gotta snake it around. So I got this. So my thought is I can, since it's already got a bend, I can figure out a way to get this in there. And I'll show you closer. So I'll have to cut this. I may have to bend it. I don't really know yet. We're gonna see if I can make this work. If not, I'll try to find something else. But so that's one of the things for today. Yeah, that's one of the things for today. Next, transmission dipstick tube. So I'll show you again. The current dipstick tube is in the way of where the turbo exhaust comes out, which is why I had the exhaust dumping right by my knee. This one is a used one from eBay, and it was $20. And to be honest, it looks a little short. This is the freaking oil dipstick. I was looking at it, I was like, this looks familiar. Dadgummit. Yeah, this is just oil. This isn't the transmission oil like the listing said. Well, daggum. Well, now I have a spare. Well, this can go in my spare parts pile. This is the problem, is I order stuff and then it takes, life happens, and then a week or two later when I'm actually working on it, my brain has moved on. This is, I don't know if I had this in the video the last time. The fuel lines to the filter canister were pretty terrible. I reused just some hose that I had, but it wasn't like truly fuel grade. So went ahead and got some of this, I think this is 3/8 for the larger line going to the canister. So we'll put that on just to make sure. I mean, it did fine last time, but I just want to make sure. I've replaced pretty much every other hose on this thing. Fuel seems like one that probably needs to be replaced. And then we'll do some brake fluid. The front brake lines were cut when I got it. I may have a picture or something here. That was a whole big fiasco. I'm gonna do some fluid. I don't know what fluid's in there. The recommendation that I've seen the most is the .5, not 5.1. So we're gonna try that. I'm gonna try to see if I can flush what's in there out, just because I don't know what it is, and these don't mix well with others. So, and then lastly, these big old dudes. These are the oil cooler lines. So when I started it, I had very large oil spill, like a BP level oil spill down underneath, and it's because the top of one of these lines, I found out later, was like melted or burned or frayed or chewed. I don't know, leaked a lot of oil. So I didn't want to just keep putting oil on the ground. So and in the last video, Russ was like, "Oh man, I hate putting these old lines on your nice cooler."
I hate putting these dirty, nasty lines on your super clean oil cooler.
They are old and they're nasty, and they're covered in like silicone, like they were trying to weatherproof it. So I went ahead and got both. This will probably be a messy job, but it is important that this goes on so I can keep testing the motor, make sure we get the throttle thing figured out so it's not running away on us. So it may not look like much, but this is probably going to take me a little while, especially since I will be filming this process. So we're not going to waste any time talking about it. We're just going to do it. We're going to start with this because this seems like the easiest thing to do. Okay, so these two lines are the ones that go to the fuel filter canister. The larger hard line into this. This is not a fuel grade line, so we're going to replace that. And of course, the hose clamp is facing the opposite direction I need it to. I need a handle. American Machine or somebody makes a really cool handle I'll probably get. The top hose clamp is removed. This is not going to be in focus because I'm not where I thought I was going to be doing this, but this is me still over here removing the bottom hose clamp. The fuel filter canister is loose too. I need to get some better hardware and bolt that in better. Oh, that's a terrible sound. Yeah, I'd say I definitely want to get that tightened, because if I hear that squeaking, it's going to drive me nuts. Okay, not terrible. Yeah, someday I'll bolt those seats down. Another day. Yeah, I don't really know what this is from. This probably would have worked for a while. This is from my parts graveyard down there, but this is nice. Outside diameter, this is a little bit bigger, but inside diameter looks the same. Okay. Use these hose clamps. That fuel canister not being bolted down is kind of a pain. I'll show you what I'm doing here. Alright, so that's the fuel canister line. That is the hard line. This is the hose. It's going to go in the middle. Alright, then I'm going to turn that in a way that I can get to it from right here. Man, this is difficult with one hand. You can just trust my word that I'm... Oh, almost forgot my other hose clamp. For being such a large vehicle, there's not a ton of space for things like this. It is nice being able to get to it from the cab, I gotta admit. When I had my Cherokee, I had to do, I think it was a throttle body position sensor. And it's on like the very back of the block by the firewall. And there is no way to get to it other than by going up from the bottom and using feet of extensions and swivel sockets and all kinds of stuff. I actually think I need to get that from the front. So go around there, tighten that up, and that'll be checked off the list. All right. This is probably going to be the messier part of today. These are the lines we're replacing, the oil lines. So as you can see, like they've seen better days. These actually go in here. We're just bypassing it so it doesn't shoot fluid everywhere. But so I gotta get in here and take out all these little mounts and zip ties, and then get them into the block, which I think is above the oil filter, but I think oil's still going to come out, so that'll probably be a little messy. Yeah, remember when I said there's like goop on everything? It's silicone to waterproof it. Yeah. All right. See, are the ends of these? They look the same. This is a hefty hose. So I'm assuming that the top one is going to go up here to the top. I mean, that makes sense to me. We'll see how much comes out if I take those out. Well, let's just bite the bullet and do it. Okay, so the fitting on this is a 1-inch. Ta-da. But I don't have like a short 1-inch. So we'll bring the trusty, rusty crescent wrench just to see if we can make this work. Here goes nothing. I have to take my hat off. And when I do that, you can see how messy my hair is. All right. And our drip pan. Oil filter is just, you know, like right in the way. Okay. This is kind of misleading because I'm like pushed forward. That's one. The other one's back in there. So, but this is my view of it looking straight up. So the question becomes, I'm gonna have to take the fuel filter out. It's just gonna be easier. Cool. All right, let's get started on that. I know I didn't put this on that tight. I thought I didn't. Turn righty tighty, lefty loosey. Especially when you're backwards and upside down. Okay. There's a lot of threads on this guy. Let's save that as best we can. Okay, with that out, you can see a lot better where those lines go and why it's going to be easier to get to them now with the oil filter removed. I don't know if I'm in focus, but now's probably a good time to tell you that I'm trying to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. The year is 2025. If you're watching this in a later year, I'm probably, I don't know, still trying to get to 10,000. Either way, make sure to subscribe and make me feel a lot better about this. Okay. Because this is all gooped up, that's not wanting to spin. So that's cool. Okay, I guess I'll go thread it all down here. And of course, these are locked in with this bracket, and there is a bolt under here that might release, but it's on the frame, and I don't know that I can get to it, so I'm gonna try to just take the bracket, see if I can take the bracket out. Hopefully those are just threaded nuts there. So we're gonna try to take this out, see if I can go from there. First of all, these bolts go all the way through the frame and were longer than I expected. So I'm a little bit worried about what that went to the other side. This is the bottom one before I forget. The bottom one was longer than the top one. So I'm wondering, I don't know. There's just a long thread on that side. So, all right, this is free. So now I'm gonna work on, oh dang, that stupid brake line's on there too. All right, we're gonna try to do this without breaking the brake line. Okay, so here's the newest problem. Move this wiring harness out of the way so I could flip this up a little bit. And I can see, oh, can I see? Right there. That is the bolt I need to take out. However, there's no clearance to get a socket in there. And it, on the camera, it looks like there's more space. There's really not. I gotta figure out how to get a crescent wrench in there and loosen that so that I can disassemble this contraption. So if you were yelling at me through the screen, hey dummy, there's a nut on the back. Well, I did hear you. So this is what I've come up with. I've got my knockoff vice grips on the bolt head that I can't get a socket on. I got a 11 mil tiny little ratchet on the nut that bites just enough that if I hold the bracket up, I can get enough with the ratchet and hold the bolt head with the vice grips. And it feels like it's working. So, but now I'm tired. You know what they call knockoff vice grips? They call them ice grips, because when they unexpectedly swing open and knock your knuckles on the frame, you have to ice your hands afterwards. Anyways, I feel like I'm close on this, but I just want to show you how I'm doing this. Again, those, you know, bolt way down there. So this would have been a lot easier to do with the motor out had I paid closer attention. I want you to see what I've been fighting this whole time. So I've got this little stubby 7/16. I've got just enough play that I can rotate these up around that brake line so the brake line's not snapping or anything. However, I can only get a little bit of a turn at a time. All right, so that took me a lot longer than I care to admit, but well, there goes the nut. This bracket is out. Luckily there was some play. There was some play there on that bracket for the brake line, but these two guys are free. This is a pain in the butt, and it took me a lot longer than I will admit to you on camera. That took me way longer than it should have. Good grief. Well, I think we should just let these
drain a little bit. I gotta take this bracket off too if I'm gonna get that to spin. Daggone. See you in a minute. Well, may have made a mess. Well, I did make a mess, but that's okay. I've got got some more back there. I've got some cleaner I'm going to try. But for now, let me show you these guys. That's where my leak was. I guess I could pull them up here where you could see them. So I don't know how it happened, but clearly that one's melted or something. It's through to the bands, like the reinforcement. This one, I don't know how well you'll be able to tell. This one's all the way through. That's where it was gushing oil from. So I don't know. I don't think we did that. Maybe this is why it was parked. From the military, I don't know. I just feel like, dang. I feel like we would have, I don't know. I can't believe I didn't think to check that. I guess I didn't know to check it. Anyways, that's done. That's out. Now to put the new one in. New ones in. Hopefully putting the new ones in doesn't take near as long as taking the old ones out. All right, the important thing is to get these facing the right way because they only flow one direction. Kidding. I'll show you. Problem I was having, one of the problems I was having, see how that spins freely? The one at the bottom was all gunked up with stuff. It wouldn't spin, so in order to turn, it was turning the whole thing. Well, as you know, this is a braided thing, so it was just a big ordeal that honestly was not fun. All right, so we're gonna route these through down to the bottom. I really don't want to cross thread this, but every time I try to grip this hose, it just spins over. So that's fun. Okay, one there. Once I get these in, I'll figure out what I'm going to do with that bracket. Now let's see if we can get these lines down here put on. Let's see. Show you what I'm looking at real quick. Okay, so that right there. Ugh. That goes on there, and then there's another one. Oh, you know what? I took the fitting out of the block. Oh, dang. Okay, so I got to put that fitting back in so that it looks like that, so that that goes on there, and that goes on the other. So, cool. Okay, got the old one off, no problem. Gonna put this in the block. Cleaned up as best I could. It looks dirtier than it actually is, but. Hey, Harbor Freight. That wasn't the one I needed. Can we come with some better packaging than this? Like, Honestly, a Ziploc bag would be better. Oh, that drive shaft is not in. Oh, well, shoot. I'm glad I noticed that. Huh. It's got the U-joint, it's just missing the straps. Glad I checked that before I tried to go anywhere. That would have made quite a racket. Yeah, all right. Okay, well, that's probably gonna leak. The reason I say that is I got this fitting tight and the thing in the block started to turn. But I don't want it to turn anymore because then it'll turn towards the block. So maybe doing this again at a later date. Still pretty tight. I don't know. I got other stuff I gotta do first, so we'll just do it like it is. Okay. It may still leak oil, but it won't leak as much oil.
All right, I'm gonna do the best I can to show you this. So, if you look back in there, that second hose clamp is going into, it's clamped on the inlet, just not very well, because the angle originally was going over this motor mount right there, like it was going through there, but with the body lift and the tank dropped to make space for the drive shaft, this no longer wants to cooperate. So this should be up here. So we're gonna use this to route up here so that we can go up here, because this bolts in over here. So that's how far away this has got to go, but it can't because the mount. So that's that.
All right, so onto the fuel. This is what I took out. Yeah, it's supposed to go straight across. However, the tank is dropped, so that's why I had issues. So my thought is, I couldn't find like an S curve, but if I can cheat it a little bit, or even heat this or something. This is pretty flexible. So thought is something like that. So I cut it bigger than I think I need first, just to try to test fit it and see how it's looking. Because let's see, I'd rather have it going into the tank solid, and then this maybe can bend, or I can cheat it. I don't know. If you've done this and you know a better solution, let me know in the comments, because I'm open to suggestions. So we'll just cut it there and there. So apparently I wasn't recording, but I did cut one with an angle. I don't know if it'll be enough angle, or if I'll need to like cut right here to be able to get that on the tube. I don't know. If you've done this and you have a better suggestion, let me know. All right, let's see what we can do with this. I don't have high hopes. All right, I think I can show you a little bit better now that I got the tube out of the way. So fill neck goes right there. And now you can see the dilemma. So it should go over that body mount, but with the drop, it doesn't line up. So that's why I'm hoping I can make this other hose work, since it's got a little bit of an angle in it, elbow, but I almost need an S, so we'll see what we can do. The fuel neck is temporarily fixed. I'll need to go back and find a more permanent solution, but at least it's on there for now for testing and stuff. Oil lines are in. I added some more oil. Obviously it's gonna need more once it's running to fill up the cooler. Hooked up the other cooler, so power steering's set up, trans is connected. I am gonna try to fire it up one more time. And just see if I still have an oil leak, see if it's still revving up. So here goes nothing. Ugh. I hear fluid or something leaking. Where is it coming from? Well, I guess I'll wait to fire it up until tomorrow. So figure out what that is. I'm running out of time today. Gotta go pick up my kid from school, but yeah, figure out what's leaking, fix that, get back to starting it. Also, if you have any boot recommendations, let me know. I think it's time to get rid of these. All right, so yesterday, when I tried to fire it up, I heard a leaking, and this fuel line here was cracked. So I cut a little sliver out just to make sure it was 1/4 inch. So I'm gonna replace that real quick and then try to fire it up again. All right, so that's in. We gotta weave this in for the coolant. Might end up shortening that one, shortening this one. You can't see what I'm saying, but we'll see. And then one of these goes across to there. The other one went there. Actually, let me go look at the, well, we'll do that in a minute. Would like to go back and replace that upper radiator hose because I reused the old one because I couldn't find the new ones I bought, and then 10 minutes later I found the box of the new ones. So maybe someday I'll get organized. That's on. We'll go tighten up the bottom one and then look at these top ones. Well, lucky for me, I haven't thrown anything away yet because I do need that fitting for my new radiator. Also, I know I've shown this, but that's why I'm not reusing that radiator. So, see if I can get this little brass fitting out without breaking anything. Perfect. That's what I needed. It'll be a tight fit. All right. Let's tighten that up. So, still don't have coolant in it. That's okay. Still have not fixed the drive shaft yet because I just want to see if I have any more leaks when I try to start it, see if it tries to run away. So this will not be the drive, but this will be another test fire. Woo-hoo! I don't know if y'all can hear that. Something squirting out. Sorry, that was me. It ran.
Oh, stinky.
Yeah, smoky. It's very smoky. Sorry, I didn't realize how smoky it was.
Is that a Humvee? Is that a Humvee?
Hey, bud. Did I wake him up?
No, I just swallowed him. I was just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out.
I don't need to do that in the garage anymore.
Yeah.
I don't see any fresh liquids on the ground. The oil leak is definitely fixed. I don't know what the gurgling was. Could have been, I had my foot on the brake, so it could have been brake lines. It could have been just a bunch of air in the lines because there's air in all the coolers. You better believe it ran. Let's take a minute to celebrate. This motor runs. I bought it. Well, I took the old motor out over a year ago because I bought this from GovPlanet, sight unseen. Long story. Go back and watch it if you don't know. But bought a new motor from Facebook Market. The guy was super nice. He'd been saving it for one of his builds, went in a different direction. He gave me, I don't even remember, I think he gave me like a 3-month or like 90-day warranty. I remember in the back of my mind like, yeah, that's going to be cutting it close. And here I am a year later, and it's actually running. So if you've been watching this whole time, thank you. Means a lot, and this is really exciting. So let's work on these drive shafts. All right. Drive shaft and U-joints. As you can see, and you probably remember, we already have the rear out. Had to take it out doing the, well, who knows at this point. We took it out for some reason. I need to come out. This rear U-joint is shot. This one, I'll have it out. I might as well replace it. And I'll probably, it's got some surface rust. I'll wire brush this, paint it so it looks a little nicer. All right, so U-joints are out. It's pretty easy. Still need to clean up the drive shaft, put the new ones in. In the time it took me to take that second one out, I texted a video of it starting to rust, who's on previous video. He still thinks it sounds like it's revving up, and I don't have a tack installed yet, so I can't tell. To me, it just sounds loud, because that's all I can hear. And he said, well, did you rev it? I'm like, no. I said, well, be a man, start it back up and rev it. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fire it up one more time, see like if I give it some pedal, if it does rev up, or if there's no change, then it is, the throttle's already open. So it's loud. So I'm gonna wear these to try to save what little hearing I have left. from years of fireworks and shooting without hero protection. Man, every time I do this, I'm nervous it's going to take off, even though it hasn't taken off any other time. All right, Russ, what do you think? I think it's smoky. Okay, we're gonna do it one more time. I'll try to rev a little bit more. The throttle is moving. I can't hear myself. The throttle is moving with the pedal. So maybe injection pumps turned up too much or something. That may be something I have to have Russ help me look at, but I do want to do it one more time just because. So hold on to your ears. That sounded better. It was actually revving. It wasn't just surging, so maybe whatever I did with the throttle worked. I don't have gauges, so I thought I had gauges. So maybe I'll unplug something. I don't know. We'll look at that another day. Okay, I feel better about that. It runs. It may run revved up, TBD. I need to get a couple more straps and bolts for the drive shaft. Need to put the U-joints back in, put the drive shafts in, and then, man, even if it's revved up a little bit, I want to see this move under its own power. So make sure to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next video because this one didn't deliver on it moving on its own power. It made more noise. So like and subscribe. Turn on the little bell for notifications so you don't miss the next video because it may be as anticlimactic as this or it could take off running across the street. Who knows? But thanks for watching. See ya. Well, thanks for sticking around this long towards the end. Got a little special treat for you. Maybe, who knows. A few weeks ago was my birthday, and so a buddy of mine sent me a message on Instagram. Said, hey, I put your present in the mail today. Feel free to read the card on your next video. So, I said, hi, thanks. A little scared. Don't know what that means. He said, just don't open it in front of your wife or any minors you don't want to pay for therapy for the rest of their lives. Laughing emoji. So, this is a calendar of you modeling with your H1 Clifford. I'll blur it out. I won't put it in the video because I don't want to pay for anybody's therapy. So I don't know what to expect. But earlier this week, a package arrived. So, I'm going to open it up and see what's in there. This may or may not make the video. We'll see. It just kind of depends on what it is. But thank you for thinking of me for my birthday. I really appreciate it. Okay, so there's a couple things in here. Ooh, that's cool. All right. All right, we'll start with the card. Dear Andrew, happy birthday. Also, congrats on getting the engine to spin up and nearly go into runaway. That's some top level talent and the kind of content that I tune in for. I noticed that in the video you were doing your best to change your skin pigment from the elbows down, and it would break my cold dead heart to see you lose digits because of diesel oil poisoning. So, please find this box of rubbers to put on your appendages. Some gloves. For protection. You know how that works, right? I have no idea how big your hands are, so I went ahead with their average male size. As a Humvee owner, that's probably being generous, but hey, we need to support one another. All the best, Tad. Thanks, buddy. You know what's funny is I actually had one pair of gloves that I had been waiting to use. I actually used them in this last video, I think, and I got them filthy immediately. So, thank you. This will come in handy. I will use it. I did not know losing digits because of diesel oil poisoning was a thing. It's a way to just, create a nightmare. These are nice. These aren't just, run of the mill. Thanks. I appreciate that. Let's see. All right. There's a sick Humvee Hot Wheel. Can never go wrong. Except it's got gold wheels. I don't know if you're expecting me to do that. And a lip pump. This one's probably nicer than mine, honestly. Thank you. Happy birthday to me. I will put this on the shelf and save it for when mine inevitably fails. Oh, and it's got the rod and everything. And a plate. Where were you like 2 weeks ago? Well, thanks, sir. If you want to see his Hummer Clifford, check him out on Instagram. Nothing to see here, damn it. Follow him. Tell him how much. Tell him he's a great friend for sending me this. Anyways, see ya.